Hi friends, this is Vemareddy. Today we are going to see how we can work with an XSLT in Boomi. But I think there are the cases where we might need to write some kind of custom scripting uh, or like any transformation steps to get the desired output. As sometimes with inbuilt capabilities will not be able to achieve like maybe whenever there is a typical transformation is required or something like output is not coming as per desired, then we might need to go to with either custom scripting or this XSLT transformation step. So XSLT transformation step will be in in like very long back, 4 or 5 years ago, Boomi doesn't have this XSLT transformation step. So that time we used to use custom scripting. With that custom scripting, we used to write this transformation scripting. That scripting will do the transformation. So in that case, like we were used to provide some kind of properties, dynamic document properties somewhere. The property holds the entire transformation template. So now we have an XSLT step is been added after I think maybe 3 4 years. I'm just seeing this on XSLT transformation step. After that, we have XSLT style sheet component itself can be added as a component, and we can be use this component as many times as we want. But this session is not explain like what the transformation step. I explain like what each and everything what we written in XSLT, but this is very simple one what we written. But what we're trying to do is we will go to the detailed sessions, like how what and each and every element, how many elements are there, like on high level, like what element each does, what is XSLT and what did it. So basically we will go a series of videos with start from the basics to um, um uh, a kind of advanced level in the sense Boomi as in XSLT, it's so much in-depth subject is there, but we don't need to go in that one. Whatever is really required for us in terms of Boomi, only we will be able to reach, make you understanding till that level of point. Okay, so I'm just going to the example what I took is I just went into here, go to the for each. So this is the example again. So I clicked on try it yourself. Pass your input, pass your XSLT, and then output. Then you can see desired output. But you are seeing like what we are trying to do is passing an XML as input and getting the output as HTML. Okay, what XSLT is capable of, right? XSLT is capable of is. So if you see any of the example, right? So basically, it is a processor. So this processor was implemented many processors, but typically what we implement is Saxon processor. Okay, if you see this one, right, opening tab. If you see, right, it's XML is the typical XML what we get an XML document, and style sheet is XSLT means XML. X stands for XML, S stands for stylish, L stands for language, stands for transformation. XML style sheet language transformation. As it says, it's a kind of one of the language for transforming your XML into a desired output. So your XSLT. So when you key in these two documents, XML and your instructions, so style sheet basically have some kind of instructions. So these instructions will be applied on XML to get the desired output. So what are the instructions that are we going to write is what we're going to learn over next few videos. So when we pass these two documents to an XSLT processor, this processor will be giving an output of three types of output. It can give you XHTML. It means HTML with representation of an XML, or XML, or something like, you can get text also. So when I say text, you can use this XSLT to generate the email templates or to render some kind of information onto the page. In real time, we might see most of the cases, everybody will be implementing the email notifications, right? So as part of email notifications, we will be writing some small kind of HTML to display, in a proper, more meaningful way to display the execution of the job and specific key parameters from the request and job name when it required execution ID, something, some kind of templates we'll be building in every organization. We'll be using that template to display the HTML. So similarly, just wanted to show you quick thing here is same how we can execute the same thing in Boomi. So then later on we'll try to go into the detail of the XSLT. So as we know, XSLT is a transformation language where if you pass an XML and XSL style sheet to a processor, the processor will process output and it will give you the different types of output. But here, like if you see, right, there are many things are there with XSLT, but we don't want to go into that level. So if you see this one, right, you see this one, there is a formatting also, is there. But if you see this formatting, it takes XSL. Yeah, one more thing is this XML documents have ends with .xml generally, file extensions. XSLT can have an extensions .xsl or XSLT. It is still both are same, similar to the way how you have HTML, HTM. Okay. Similarly, you can have two types of an extensions. But if you see this XSL file, this XML file, both you are passing to transformation engine, you will get some document. On the document, you have one more processor, one more kind of style language. We can do formatting, XSLT. They're called as FO, formatting objects. With this XSLT, you will be able to generate the PDF also, but we are not going to look at that how XSL FOs works, how we can use that to display in a PDF. We are not going to learn, but only going to learn over next few videos is how this XSLT basically works, how we can use this XSLT feature in Boomi to deal with some of the transformations, typical transformations, which are not able to do with or sometimes it makes more cumbersome to do with inbuilt functionality. Okay, so now let's jump on it. So now let me just run this one. So I already created a process. We just so just run this one. So I just pass the input as this one, output as this XSLT component has this one. So I'm going to what this process will going to do. It takes this input XML and apply these transformations and generate this output. Typically, it looks like an HTML, but it's HTML document will be XML representation of HTML document will be generated. So that will be only rendered. You see, right? That will be only rendered when it display on the UI. So on the web page. So now you can see some kind of information data was transformed. Now let's see how we can do this with REST API. Okay, I already deployed this process with this setup. What I did with this render is, so I just selected the operation type as a query as it basically meant what type of action you are performing with this web services. So typically I'm just pulling some details from somewhere, and then I'm just, because in this particular example case, I didn't have any data sources connected to pull the data. Whatever the request is basically sending, from that request only, we are going to transform that into an HTML format. So that's the reason I just put it as a query, and I'm just giving the query CD collection. So I don't want to take any of the type of things. Maybe I can use it later for JSON, something like that. I just put single data and single data. So both I just put for single data and then single data. It means it takes any type of data and it can return any type of data. It just no very high level thing. Okay, now I deployed this process. Okay, now let me go to the, let me get the endpoint URL for this one. Okay, firstly, before we going, let me get the URI here. So this is my one part of URI. Next, let's get the, so where do we get the remaining base URL is, base URL will be getting the an item management page for the web services. Go to shared web server. You will get the remaining this one, this piece. This is the basic URL. Okay. This is your whole URL. Let's see whether this thing is working or not. Unknown operation for given URL path. Why it is? Because it is expecting you to send no, some data, but you did not send it. Okay. Simple query collection, but let's see what other options. Authentication type. Intermediate is there. So this should work, but let's try the same thing. Or else we will just change to a different one, this web service. What we can do, typically we can do, we will just pass this, we will just pass this as it is, the web services server connected over here. Because earlier the deployed process, it doesn't have the message shape. I thought of sending the request over an XML request. So now let me just send this as it is. So what I'll just change to get here in order to display on the server. So we can see it is going to be rendered as an HTML. Okay, so single data and then 7 close. And then I'm just going to deploy this one. So we cannot test it. Let me go ahead and deploy this one, save. So let's go ahead and see whether this one has properly deployed it or not. You can see it's, go to listener. It should be in green color. Yes, so it means it's running. Now let's try one more time. Okay, you can see that it takes a request from the browser, and then once it goes to the process report in here. It just received the request and it rendered, because we sent as part of this response, we sent an HTML. This HTML, it translated into a rendered into an HTML view when it displayed on the browser. But how are we going to do? Can't we do with this without this XSLT? Yes, we can do without XSLT also. But the intention here is to not like what's whether we can do it with non XSL components or what. Here typically we can do, because there is nothing much we written for this particular use case. But if you want to do the same kind of output, right? So typically we can use a map shape also. And with the map shape, because ultimately what we're trying to generate is an what we are generating is an HTML. So if you want to generate an HTML, what you can do, you can use the message shape and then map shape combination, and both you can do. And with this combination, you will be able to achieve this result also. See what we are typically getting to enable language XML, right? So it's basically you can put it all this part. Okay, you put it all this part, and this one you can generate it with a profile, because this is one piece, it's just repeatable, right? So you can just generate this part, or else even you can just put this as a one document is kind of repeatable block, and then this you can generate as many number of times you want. This is still also okay, because it's with very basic thing also we'll be able to generate. We don't need to always write for simple things also with XSLT, but I'm just going to show you like how this is going to be quickly done. Good XML. So what we are going to do is going to generate one table row. This is table row. After that, have two data rows are there. With this one, similarly, you can just do with this XML profile. So I did not create this XML profile. But let me go ahead and create that XML profile. Just save this as. I didn't have any schema, so I just have only this one. So because you can even do with profile generation multiple. So as you know, like, oh my goodness, like many things are there. I cannot go ahead and delete all these things. What I can do is I can put a one comment. Okay. How you can put the comments in XML. This is the opening bracket and that is the closing one. This is the opening. Similarly, you can put this one. So it is a bracket comment. So now I will just go ahead and do one more time. This time I don't need to, because deleting everything will take time. So compared to that, it will be quick to regenerate it profile. You can see here, you make this as repeatable. Max occurrence make it as. So whatever things you want to generate, for example, if you want to generate only the, what is the thing XSLT they did is, so the put title and artist. So we can just map only the that title and artist here. One is for this art. So we can use this data process, and this data process we are just using to combine. Okay, you don't need to do anything. So you can combine as it is. So we are supposed to generate HTML, right? Oh, I think we cannot combine this one because we make it as a root element, but still we can do, what we can do is you can just display this entire part as, you can just done as it is, and then you can do some search and replace with the XML tags. And then what you can do, you will get the desired output, and then you just go ahead and put one more map shape here to get this output. Because in this map, what we are going to do is you just put all these things. Make this as a current document, and then you can connect this to return document. So even this also will be able to get your desired result. Only thing what you need to do is you just need to replace the XML. So because the XML tag will be generated, so you just need to write some regex expression to just search and replace this one, because we are going to making using as an current data here. So we need to strip off that one, otherwise you'll get an valid XML format. So this makes also will do. It's not only that with XSLT only it can do, without XSLT also we can do. But see, this is not looks like, but as and when if this uh, uh, feels more like, and then it becomes, but there are some transformations will show you. It's not that so easy to do it, in the inbuilt capabilities. So that we will go and see how we can write an XSL transformation step in the next videos. Thank you.